Most people believe putting their money in the bank is smart. But what if I told you it's actually the fastest way to stay poor? Welcome to George Financial Freedom, where we unlock the secrets the wealthy already know. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with anyone ready to stop letting their money sit idle. Today, we're going to uncover why banks aren't your friends and how to make your money work harder than you ever could. Let's start with a harsh truth. Banks do not make you rich. They make money off you. You work all week, deposit your hard-earned cash on Friday, and by Monday morning, it's already loaned out to someone else. The bank earns interest while your money barely grows. This isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to learn the rules of the game. The wealthy understand a fundamental principle. Money is like blood. It needs to flow to stay alive. If it stops moving, growth halts. The rich don't let their money sit. They put it to work, make it multiply, and let it grow continuously. Here's the real difference. Security without growth is not protection. It's slow extinction. Society trains us to feel proud when we save. We look at our bank balance and think, I'm responsible. But have you noticed something? That same money seems to lose value every year. What $100 could buy yesterday may cost $120 today. Meanwhile, inflation silently erodes your purchasing power, and banks quietly smile. The poor and middle class focus on protecting money. The wealthy focus on multiplying it. One says, I'll guard it. The other says, I'll plant it. And before you know it, while you're busy protecting your cash, someone else is using it to build a fortune. So, the question isn't, where should I keep my money? The real question is, how can I make my money work harder than I do? Many people tell me, I just want to feel safe. Knowing bills are paid and cash is in the bank gives peace of mind. But here's the truth we need to face. Banks provide safety, not wealth. Safety keeps you in place. Freedom takes you where you could go. Banks have a simple role. Safeguard your money, keep it accessible, insure it, and that's it. Meanwhile, they lend it, invest it, and multiply it tenfold while you earn a fraction of a percent. The system works for them, not you. Think about it. Leaving money idle is like leaving water in a stagnant pool. It loses life and vitality. The same goes for your cash. The moment it stops flowing, it begins losing value. I remember my first real paycheck. I was proud, eager to protect it, so I did what everyone does. I deposited it in the bank. I felt accomplished. But soon, I realized something shocking. While my savings grew slowly, my purchasing power was shrinking. Inflation was silently eating away what I thought I was preserving. That's when I learned a hard lesson. Security without growth is an illusion. So, what's the smarter approach? First, build a safety cushion, 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's your safety net. Beyond that, your money needs a mission. It must work. Invest your surplus in assets that grow or generate income. Dividend-paying stocks, real estate, or income-producing businesses. When your money works, it becomes your employee, not your pet. You don't feed it, it feeds you. But beware a subtle trap. Too much comfort leads to financial paralysis. Avoiding all risk can stunt growth. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Don't confuse comfort with progress. Strike a balance. Protect, then propel. Build a strong base, then use it as a springboard, not a hiding spot. Banks protect your money. Yes, but freedom demands more. Courage, vision, and movement. Because the biggest danger isn't losing money. It's never letting it grow. If you want to see exactly how to make your money grow faster than inflation, keep watching, because the next section will reveal the strategies the wealthy use to turn every dollar into a multiplying machine. Here's a secret most people never realize. Wealth is never built by saving, it's built by planting. You cannot grow rich by keeping your money idle in a bank. Welcome back to George Financial Freedom, If you're serious about transforming your financial future, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video, because today we're going beyond saving. We're going to learn how to make your money work tirelessly for you, just like the wealthy do. Wealth is not something you store, it is something you cultivate. Think of your money like seeds. If you bury them in a safe box or a bank account, they will remain dormant. But if you plant them wisely, nurture them, and let them grow, they will return to you multiplied, sprouting interest, growth, and freedom. Most people grow up believing that the bank is the ultimate financial pillar. It is the place where you save, borrow, and feel secure. But here's a truth that few acknowledge. The rich don't rely on banks. They become the bank. They create their own system of liquidity, flexibility, and leverage without waiting for approval from any institution. When you own assets that generate cash flow, you stop waiting for loans. You create your own loans. You stop asking for interest. You collect it yourself. Thinking like a bank changes your entire financial philosophy. Banks never let their money sit idle. They circulate it, multiply it, and make it work relentlessly. Consider this. When you deposit your paycheck, the bank doesn't simply lock it away. It loans it out, earns interest, and returns to you just a tiny fraction. In essence, banks make money off your money. So why wouldn't you do the same? The moment I realized this, everything changed. To achieve financial independence, I needed to take control of my capital. I studied cash flows through real estate, investment portfolios, and entrepreneurship. I discovered that the secret isn't preserving money, it's making it circulate intelligently, always aiming for growth and returns. Here's what that looks like in practice. Build investments that are liquid, yet appreciating. Rental properties can generate income while serving as collateral for new investments. Investment accounts can be strategically leveraged to accelerate growth. Even certain life insurance structures, when used correctly, can become productive personal financial reserves. The key is keeping your liquidity within assets that appreciate, not letting cash sit idle in a savings account where it loses value each year. Money placed in productive assets gains two forces: growth and leverage. When liquidity is needed, you don't interrupt growth. You borrow against the asset, and that borrowed money works elsewhere. This is exactly how banks operate, and this is the model the wealthy emulate in their personal systems. But leverage requires wisdom. Debt can build empires or destroy them. Only use debt to produce, never to consume. If it won't generate returns, don't borrow. Stop waiting for banks to lend you opportunities. Become the bank yourself. Build a system so strong that money flows through you, not around you. The day you master the flow of capital, you never wait for permission to build the life you desire. One of the most powerful lessons in wealth is this: compound growth always beats compound saving. There's a massive difference between keeping what's left and growing what you have. Saving preserves, compounding multiplies. Society teaches us to protect money, to hide it, to feel safe. But comfort never creates wealth. Growth does. Money that is not planted is a seed that will never bear fruit. Banks have taught caution, and that's useful. But you will never reach financial freedom with fractions of interest while inflation silently steals full bills. Meanwhile, the wealthy grow their money by reinvesting, sometimes earning 8% or more consistently, because they understand a fundamental principle: reinvestment. Every dividend, every profit becomes a worker sent to generate more money, and when those workers are reinvested, they recruit others, creating a snowball effect of wealth. I will never forget the first time I witnessed the real power of compounding. I started with a modest, almost insignificant investment. At first, nothing seemed remarkable. Then, after a few years, something shifted. Growth became exponential. My money was generating money that generated more money. It was like planting an entire orchard rather than a single tree. Eventually, you don't just harvest fruits, you harvest forests. This is what happens when you stay consistent and let time do the heavy lifting. To make this concrete, automate your investments. Don't let emotion dictate your decisions. Set up automatic reinvestment of dividends. When profits occur, redirect them immediately before even thinking of spending. Removing emotion from compounding secures your financial growth for the future. Review your results annually, not daily, not monthly. Compounding doesn't impress in the short term, it amazes over time. Checking daily is like staring at a sapling, hoping it grows into a tree. A year later, you'll find a forest taking shape. Protect the process. Never interrupt compounding with emotional withdrawals or fear-based decisions. Every premature withdrawal breaks the magic and resets the clock. Growth demands patience. Compounding rewards the disciplined and punishes the impulsive. Stop saving what remains after living. Start growing what you have before life spends it for you. The real power of compounding lies not in the numbers, but in the discipline to stay consistent long enough for the miracle to unfold. Let me share another truth. The best investment you will ever make is in your mind. Knowledge compounds faster than money. Every principle you learn today can produce results for decades. Money without understanding is like planting seeds in barren soil. No matter how much water you give, nothing will grow. Investing in your education gives you the rare ability to see opportunities, avoid pitfalls, and multiply resources far beyond luck or inheritance. When I started, I had almost no capital, but I had books and a thirst to learn. I read daily with the intent to apply. Gradually, I understood how wealthy people think differently, how they leverage time, relationships, and patience to make clear decisions. Every lesson became a tool, forming a lifelong growth machine. The strategy is simple. Before chasing the latest financial product or get-rich-quick scheme, invest in your financial literacy. Read a book per month on money, investing, or wealth creation. Follow people who actually build, not just talk. Attend conferences, listen to interviews, take notes, ask questions. But remember, knowledge alone isn't enough. Action is what creates value. Commit to applying at least one principle per week. Launch a small investment, negotiate better deals, automate a strategy, or cut unnecessary expenses. Each action compounds the previous one. This is how learning becomes a financial accelerator far more powerful than a simple savings account. Education also transforms your perception of risk. The poor fear loss. The uninformed fear numbers. The wealthy understand and manage. When you know what you're doing, careful action becomes natural. What once seemed dangerous becomes measurable. What once scared you becomes profitable. Make your mind your primary asset. Treat learning like capital, because what you learn today compounds each following day, far beyond any interest rate or rent collected. Invest in yourself first, and money will follow. Finally, let's address the invisible barrier keeping most people poor. Fear. Fear of loss, fear of mistakes, fear of letting go of hard-earned money. Many cling to cash as if it is safety itself. They lock it away, freeze it in accounts, paralyzed by risk. But here's the simple truth. Hoarded money never creates wealth. Money is meant to flow, to serve as a tool, not a treasure to clutch. You don't get rich by holding, you get rich by directing. The prosperous do not attach. They organize, deploy, and grow. Control is more powerful than possession. When you control your money, fear disappears because you rely on a system, not hope. Early in my life, every cent mattered. I could have hoarded everything out of fear, but I learned to allocate, part to live, part to invest, part to experiment. Every small return built confidence. I realized that control creates opportunity, while retention breeds anxiety. The strategy is clear. Overcome fear, automate your finances, schedule transfers immediately after payday, analyze weekly, not daily, to avoid stress from ignorance. Diversify so no single mistake destroys everything. Start small if needed. Even $50 per month invested consistently can change a financial trajectory. Courage is action, not inaction. Wealth isn't about the amount, it's about mastery. Those who cling live in scarcity. Those who control build freedom. Fear vanishes when you trust your system, your discipline, and your judgment. A single well-managed dollar can create growth, opportunity, and security simultaneously. Remember this principle: money grows when it flows. Money locked away seems safe, but is sterile. Wealth is not accumulation, it's movement. Rivers do not form from stagnant water. They flow, shape the land, and nourish life. Money works the same way. When you invest in people, you multiply impact. When you develop skills, you capitalize potential. When you support ideas, businesses, or systems, you create lasting sources of value. Early on, I realized that giving, investing, and collaborating are not just acts of generosity, they are acts of intelligence. A small contribution to a project can become a source of learning, growth, and profit, far exceeding the initial input. Move your money with intention. Invest in people who want to grow. Finance your skills. Create systems that continue producing long after your initial effort. Strategic generosity does not reduce wealth. It sets it in motion, returning amplified. Idle money is a mirage of security. Only conscious circulation prevents stagnation and builds sustainable wealth. Wealth is a living energy, and like blood in your veins, it must circulate to sustain life. Start now. Invest in growth, give strategically, and above all, make your money move. Treat each dollar as a seed, never as dead weight. Let it circulate, multiply through value creation, and watch wealth grow far beyond what a single isolated deposit could ever achieve. Once you understand this, money stops being a source of anxiety and becomes a tool of freedom. Don't see your savings as a pile of dust-covered coins, see them as an army awaiting orders. Idle money is like soldiers standing still. They seem ready, but accomplish nothing. Wealth grows not through accumulation alone, but when each unit of currency receives a clear mission, a precise role, a defined objective. Imagine every single dollar you own working as hard as you do, like a loyal member of your team. What if your money didn't just sit there collecting dust in a bank account, but actively fought to build your freedom, your wealth, your future? Today, we're going to reveal how to make every euro a soldier in your financial army and how to build a personal economy that works even while you sleep. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button for George Financial Freedom, like this video, and share it with anyone who's ready to stop letting their money sit idle. Let's get started. Section 1. Money as workers, not spectators. I remember my early days. I had saved a small amount, believing that safety was enough. But over time, I realized that true power wasn't in holding on. It was in deploying. The moment I started investing my money into projects that could generate income while I slept, everything changed. Stocks, small projects, side hustles, they became the soldiers of my financial army, each contributing far more than they could alone. The shift in perspective, seeing money as workers rather than spectators, was transformative. Every euro must have a mission. Some create growth through investments, some protect your foundation via savings and insurance, others finance education and skills, increasing your future income potential. Tracking the performance of each euro is essential. Like a commander analyzing his troops, you must evaluate the efficiency of your money each month. If a soldier isn't performing, redeploy it. Reinvest profits immediately. Idle gains lose momentum. Reinvested, your financial army multiplies. Dividends return to the field. Business profits fund new projects. Intellectual property generates recurring revenue. Slowly, methodically, your empire grows through the compounding effect, a level of power that simple saving can never match. Section 2. Discipline and reinvestment. Discipline is crucial. It's tempting to withdraw gains for immediate gratification, but true wealth is built by letting your money fight on the battlefield every day, year after year. Reinvested gains strengthen your position, expand your influence, and grow your territory. Start today. Examine every euro you own and ask, what mission will this euro accomplish? Give it a clear objective, measure its results, and reinvest its victories. Savings stops being passive. It becomes a disciplined, organized force capable of securing freedom and creating sustainable wealth. Too many people spend their lives paying interest, unknowingly financing the wealth of others while their own money stagnates. Banks smile as your debt grows, and your savings earn almost nothing. The logic is simple. The poor pay interest, the rich collect it. To build lasting wealth, flip the equation. Align yourself with those who receive interest, not those who pay it. Section 3. Eliminating high-interest debt and controlling cash flow. I've seen it countless times. People trapped by credit cards, personal loans, and consumer debt, convinced small monthly payments are harmless. Over time, these payments become a prison, a silent tax on their freedom. Meanwhile, the wealthy invest in bonds, dividend-paying assets, or lending solutions that pay interest, which compounds year after year. The contrast is clear. One works for the banks, the other makes the banks work for them. First step, eliminate high-interest debt aggressively. Every day of delay means you pay someone to use your money. Free yourself quickly so you can redirect cash flow toward assets that work for you. Once debt is under control, focus on creating interest. Invest in instruments that truly reward patience, but most importantly, reinvest. Compounding is a formidable weapon. When interest earns interest, money multiplies in ways a salary alone never could. Section 4. Strategic use of debt. Debt isn't inherently dangerous. It's misuse that kills wealth. Many fear it so much they avoid it completely, letting money sit idle in banks, missing growth opportunities. The wealthy use debt as leverage. They borrow strategically to acquire assets that earn more than the cost of the loan. Debt becomes a tool. In the hands of a skilled artisan, it builds. In the hands of the careless, it destroys. I've seen it over and over. A friend used a small loan to purchase a rental property. Rent covered the repayment, taxes, and maintenance while generating surplus income. Years later, the property appreciated, transforming modest debt into significant wealth. Compare that with someone borrowing for a luxury car or vacation. The repayment comes from work, creating stress instead of opportunity. The difference is stark. One multiplies wealth, the other multiplies worries. Rule: borrow only to acquire assets that generate measurable returns. Real estate generating cash flow, scalable businesses, or education that increases earning potential. Calculate ROI before borrowing. Avoid emotional debt. Luxury cars or impulsive purchases don't count. Section 5. Building your personal economy. Many rely on banks, employers, or advisors for their freedom, then wonder why it's fragile. True financial freedom begins with ownership, owning your time, decisions, and capital. The secret isn't a bigger paycheck, it's building your own economy, an autonomous ecosystem where money works for you. I started with a small side project while keeping my job. Profits from one project funded another. Over time, each income source fueled the next. What began as a single channel became a self-sustaining cycle, a personal economy. I became my own bank, my own orchestrator. The strategy: create multiple autonomous income streams. One covers daily expenses, another finances investments, another builds reserves for opportunities. Over time, money feeds money. Steps to make it practical: identify 3 to 4 potential revenue sources. Use profits from one to launch or accelerate another. Monitor performance like an entrepreneur. Quarterly review, adjustments. Reinvest where growth is highest. Treat every euro like an employee. Assign it a role, monitor results, optimize. Goal: autonomy. The less you depend on external systems, the freer you become. When one part of your ecosystem prospers, it lifts the others, creating leverage far beyond any salary. Remember this: wealth is not built overnight, And freedom is not given, it is created. If you want to escape the paycheck-to-paycheck trap, if you want to stop letting banks, fear, or circumstances control your life, you must take control. Think like the top 1%. Not quick wins, but systems, cycles, and compound growth. Treat every euro like a worker, every asset like a tool, every decision like a building block for your personal economy. Action separates dreamers from doers. Audit your finances today. Identify idle money. Transform it into a machine that multiplies. Start with one revenue stream, one investment, one habit, and expand. Surround yourself with people who elevate you. Learn relentlessly. Reinvest every success in future growth. The sooner you act, the sooner your money starts working for you. Now, I want you to do 3 things. Subscribe to George Financial Freedom for more strategies on building real wealth. Like, comment, and share this video so others can start taking control of their money. Explore my playlist on financial independence to continue learning and turn these principles into action. Wealth is living energy. It flows like blood in your veins. It multiplies when it circulates, stagnates when it's hoarded. Start now. Make every euro a soldier, every asset a tool, every decision a step toward freedom. When your money works for you, life changes forever.